The 2022 NFL Draft was one to remember as we saw 4 HBCU stars take over and make a mark in the NFL. We saw guys walk away with a Super Bowl trophy and other guys walk away with honors like Rookie of the Year. And this 2023 NFL Draft has the power to be even better, which is why we, HBCU Gameday, are bringing you guys a special NFL Draft edition. I am Symone Stanley here in our Atlanta studios with a very special guest host. You guys have seen this face all over the HBCU landscape. Floyd. Thank you for joining us today.
Symone, thanks for having me. I'm so excited, and you already know this link up right here is way overdue.
Long overdue, but better late than never. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And now is the perfect time because we both love football. This is our space. So it's no better time to really come in here and break this down.
Exactly.
So first of all, Rattler Stripe, we see the jacket. Let them know where you got it from.
I got this from the Anthony Lawrence collection, the new HBCU flavor. You already know, class of 2019, J School grad, got a rep.
Okay.
Can I get 2 claps and a strike?
I didn't know if that was literally like a call for y'all. Like, do y'all really do that or y'all just say that? I don't know. Okay, but I'm rather straight.
I know that's right. We'll take it.
We'll take it. So we got to look back first at the 2022 NFL Draft because that class was loaded with talent. So we're going to give you guys a little review of that draft class, and then we are going to give our top 3 prospects from the 2023 NFL Draft. And then me and Ty are going to give you guys a sleeper prospect because we know all the big dogs, but we got to talk about some guys that have been flying under the radar who can expect to hear their name called in 2 weeks. And then I think this will be my favorite segment on the show. We are going to play General Manager. And I'm going to draft a player to my favorite team. You guys know, the Philadelphia Eagles. And Ty is going to draft a player to her team.
The 49ers.
Yeah. The 49ers. You know, we're rivals on the field, but, you know, we're friends here in the studio.
Of course. And
then we're going to have a very special guest in the studio. One of the players that we're going to talk about. We're not going to let y'all know. It's going to be a surprise guest, a top 2023 NFL draft prospect out of a HBCU. He will be here in studio. So stay tuned. But let's get right into it. Talking about the 2022 NFL draft class. There were some stars.
There definitely was. There were guys that played exceptionally well. Guys that fought through adversity. You got guys like James Houston, Jacoby Durant, Joshua Williams, and then FAMU's very own Marquise Bell, who didn't necessarily get drafted but signed to UDFA and still shined. But my player that I want to highlight is Joshua Williams, Kansas City Chiefs Super Bowl winner. Joshua Williams was the first HBCU player off the board in the draft last year, which in my opinion, proved to a lot of people just how real HBCU talent is. We all know how difficult it is to make it to the league from an HBCU, but you add another layer, Division II. Sheesh. This season, he had 27 solo tackles and an interception in the AFC Championship to seal the Bengals' fate, which made that play extraordinary was the fact that it was tipped by Brian Cook, who was another HBCU alum who played at Howard and then transferred to Cincinnati. So Joshua Williams is definitely a guy that I think we can, continue to hold these 2023 guys to a standard of excellence. I mean, shoot, he won the Super Bowl.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me.
Oh, sorry about that.
I remember Joshua Williams won the Super Bowl, Well, hopefully, I love that for Joshua Williams. Hopefully, we don't, on our road to running it back to Super Bowl, hopefully we don't face the Chiefs and Joshua Williams because he is legit and he showed that. Especially like you said, it's one thing to come out of a HBCU, but to come out of Division II level, representing the CIAA, which people mainly know for basketball. He's like, hold up, we got some dogs on the football field too. So shout out to Joshua Williams.
Shout out to Joshua Williams, man.
I want to talk about Jacoby Durant because I'm a Carolina girl, a North Carolina girl. He's a South Carolina boy, but Carolina's all together. Yes. Jacoby Durant, he was drafted in the 4th round of what was then the defending Super Bowl champs in the Los Angeles Rams. Jacoby Durant jumped into a cornerback room that was star-studded, highlighted by Jalen Ramsey. He came in and instantly made a name for himself. He had 22 tackles, 3 interceptions, a pick 6 against the Atlanta Falcons. He had 5 pass deflections and a sack. And he won the Rams Rookie of the Year award. Just showing that dog mentality. Again, we breed them in the Carolinas. I know y'all think Florida got all the talent, but, the Carolinas, we've been pumping it out.
Hey, I lived in the Carolinas for quite a long time.
Okay, yeah, you did. Yeah, so you respect it. You respect it.
Yeah.
But the Rams, this offseason, they traded Jalen Ramsey to the Miami Dolphins. So we can expect to see even more from Jacoby Durant this upcoming season. And that's a stamp of approval on Jacoby Durant that they're willing to hand the keys over from an all-pro cornerback to you. So shout out to that guy.
Shout out to Jacoby Durant. And to piggyback off of what you said, guess who else gave him the stamp of approval? Jalen Ramsey himself has always talked highly of Jacoby Durant, so I think we can expect a lot from him in the future.
And he's got that dog, he got the mouthpiece on her. Like, you gotta have that at corner. And we know Jalen Ramsey got a lot of mouth. Like, Jalen Ramsey, he gonna let you hear it.
Yeah.
And that's definitely Jacoby Durant. Like, he's not scared to bark and get in your ear. So I like that grittiness.
Yes. He got that dog in.
He got that dog in. So looking to the 2023 NFL drafts, loaded with talent. Loaded with talent. Let's talk about our top 3 players. 3 players that are favorites of ours. Starting with your top 3, who are some guys that you've been looking at?
Well, the first guy I'm going to start with is the 6'6", 250-pound tight end, Kamari Avery.
Big boy.
Out of Bethune-Cookman. Yes, he is a big boy. We're on our scissor right now. He's 3 to 4 inches taller than a lot of guys that line up against him. And let's be real, there aren't many 6'3", safeties, nickelbacks, cornerbacks, and he's listed as a tight end, but he has the ability to line up in the slot or outside, automatic mismatch, wherever you line him up. He's got great hands, great awareness for the football, and speed for someone of his size. Now, if you look him up on Instagram, he calls himself Hard Body, which he uses to block 15 pancake blocks. And a lot of times last season, you saw him withstanding the first tackle and racking up his yak.
Okay, yards after the catch. Gotta have that yak.
Yes, gotta have that yak for sure. My second guy comes from my alma mater, Isaiah Land. Isaiah Land, 6'4", 236 pounds. He ran a 4.6 at the combine and completed 20 run reps. So that tells you he's got size and speed. He won the Buck Buchanan Award in the 2021 season, and it's because he's slippery.
Okay.
He's got the speed and the awareness to run down the play from the backside. He's sometimes unblockable, especially in the passing game. He's relentless. He never gives up on a play, and his heart, combined with his ability, will make him really great at the next level, and he'll join the ranks of other NFL rattlers like Marquise Bell, Ken Riley, Nate Newton. And Isaiah Land was also drafted to the USFL.
Okay.
Yes.
So he got options.
And can we just talk about how I love that the USFL and the XFL are brought to conception, because these guys can have another opportunity.
Right.
They don't have to go all the way to Canada. They can play in front of their friends and family here in the States. Pretty dope opportunity.
Right.
Pretty dope opportunity. And then my third person is Shaquan
Davis
out of South Carolina State University. Shaq Davis has the prototypical size of an NFL wide receiver and automatically passes the eye test at 6'5", 180 pounds. So you know them NFL scouts and GMs are licking their chops. Just like I mentioned when talking about Kamari Avery, his size creates mismatches because, again, there aren't many super tall corners. He's fast. He has the ability to run right past defenders. Great hands, great speed, and is always catching the ball in space, separate from the defender, which is an indication of great routes. And NFL teams will like his ability to locate the football, catch with straight hands, and run up his yak.
Run up that yak.
Run up his yak. Constantly showing his confidence in catching balls and making straight plays. And I know we all saw that Celebration Bowl performance.
Right.
Sheesh.
Big stage. So showing that he can do it on the big stage. So I like that. Of course, you had the FAMU Rattler in there.
Had to throw him in there.
You had to throw him in there. I like the mix of defense, offense. I really like it. So that's a great top 3.
Now I'm excited to hear yours.
Okay, so when we get to my top 3, we have one player in common that just couldn't be denied. It couldn't be denied. But let's get into my top 3. So starting off with an offensive lineman. So this guy is out of the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff. And the guy has not been drafted out of UAPB since 2013.
Woo!
I'm going to give you a second to guess who that guy was.
I know who it is.
Go ahead.
Is it Teron Armstead?
Teron Armstead, yes, and 4-time All-Pro tackle in the league. Mm-hmm. And now, who is expected to be the next guy to get drafted out of UAPB but another tackle, Mark Evans II. This guy played tackle at UAPB, but he has the versatility to slide on the inside at guard as well. And he is projected to play guard on the NFL level because of his size, but he still does have the versatility to slide on the inside and outside. He is known for his run blocking ability, but he is also solid in pass protection as well. He has been praised for his viciousness, fighting through the whistle. He's a forceful blocker, and he has strong legs. You see him squatting right there to pick. He uses those thighs and those hamstrings to move those defenders out the way and protect his QB. So shout out to Mark Evans II. And now I have to flip over to defense because I am a defensive girl. You know what I'm saying? I love the trenches. So let's talk about Aubrey Miller Jr. out of with all the E's, Jackson State. You know how they are with all the E's. Yep. Jackson State University. This guy, we talked about the dog. Mm-hmm. This guy got the dog in him. He is a vicious defender that plays with so much fire, so much energy, and that mentality. He's so quick blitzing off the edge, but he's also very good against the run. He's also really good defending against the pass when he has to drop back into coverage. And most times linebackers are only good at one or the other. Yeah, they might be really fire in the run game, but when it comes to dropping back in coverage, oh, he ain't the guy. Mm-mm. But Aubrey Miller, get you a guy that can do both. He can stop the run and he can also drop back in coverage when he has to. But my favorite thing about Aubrey Miller, you guys, the sound tackling. Ty, there's nothing I hate more than poor tackling.
Oh, child.
You learn that in Pee Wee football, okay? Yeah. Aubrey Miller, he gonna wrap his guy up. He's gonna bring him down, okay? Yes. So I really like that about Aubrey Miller. No soft football, okay?
No little throw their arm out.
Yeah, little swipe, little swipe. Wrap him up and bring him down.
I know that's right.
So I love that about Aubrey Miller. Lastly, we talk about the Carolina boys. We talk about them. You talked about them. Shaquan Davis out of South Carolina State University. This guy, like we said, is a matchup nightmare for any defense. Shaq Davis, standing 6'5", 180 pounds. He can play on the outside, or he can be a straight up burner to stretch the field with his speed. He's great at creating separation and tracking down the ball. And he was top in the FBS and FCS in depth of targets. So he's a guy that quarterbacks are just going to want to rock back and air it out to, and he is going to be the speedster to go down the field, track down the ball, and, take it to the end zone and then do the little shuffle. I don't know if he's going to carry the shuffle over to the NFL.
He better.
He might lead that shuffle in. She might lead a shuffle in Atlanta at the Mercedes-Benz.
No, he gotta take that one. He gotta have that in his bag.
He gonna have that in his bag?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, he had that in his bag, pull it out, and then all of us gonna feel like, oh wow, this is
we gonna remember though, like other people when they're watching Shaq, they be like, why he doing the prime show? But it's an inside joke. But Shaq Davis is that dude. That's why he's on both of our lists.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Tyler, we know the Isaiah Lands, we know the Aubrey Millers, we know the Shaq Davises, we know the Mark Evans. Let's talk about some guys that's sliding under the radar. We have one sleeper pick for each of us. Who is your sleeper pick? Wake him up, Ty.
Well, I don't know if he's a sleeper pick no more because he went to the HBCU Combine, showed out. He played in the HBCU Legacy Bowl, showed out. He's getting features on the NFL Network. But guess what? I'm going to talk about him here. Another Rattler, Xavier Smith. Now, Xavier and I are cool, and he told me he used to run through orange groves to train to get his body ready, and I think he's ready for the next level. Let's talk about him. DBs have to give Xavier Smith a lot of respect because he's fast and explosive. He has great acceleration. He can go from 0 to 60 in milliseconds. The man is going full speed on his first step, so you'll see him getting a lot of cushion, and he'll catch some underneath balls. Because, baby, if that DB is taking pictures, then the X-Man is out of there. You can put him in the slot. You can put him outside. He can play in multiple spots. And he can put it in reverse, make people miss. He's very shifty. And his routes are crisp. He is a true gem of this draft and got his just due after his performances in the HBCU Combine, where he ran a 4.3 40-yard dash, showed off his true route ability and hands.
Rattlers. Does that offend y'all if I don't say rattlers? Is it fine if I say rattlers? Your rattlers. Mm-hmm. Y'all have been striking. Okay, we got two guys in this draft that could be coming out of FAMU. And like you said, Xavier, his handles on social media are shine time. Mm-hmm. He's been getting his shine because, like you said, he got Steve Smith breaking down his film. Yep. He on all the networks. So shout out to that rattler.
Shout out to Xavier Smith, man. I'm just so proud of him. So excited for him. I mean, people don't really know this, but he is what catapulted my career. I interviewed him after he scored a game winner, and that interview went viral, and it was also featured on HBCU Gameday.
Okay, full circle moment for both the rattlers.
Nothing but the best for him.
Okay, so let's talk about my sleeper. My sleeper is also a wide receiver. This time, we're going to talk about a guy out of Hampton with a name to remember and a game to go along with it. Jadakiss Bonds. Now, this guy, he stole the show at the East-West Shrine Bowl when he showed his reach back like 1-3, reach back like 1-3. He has long arms that allow him, like I said, to reach back and grab balls like Odell Beckham. He also can stiff arm guys with those long arms as well. That allows him to get a lot of those 50-50 balls. He is also someone who is extremely versatile. He can play in the slot and he can play on the outside as well. And we talked about that yak. Okay, Jadakiss got that yak, that yard after the catch ability. He is very physical guy. He likes to break a lot of tackles. And like I said, he can line up pretty much anywhere. He is a big red zone threat. He had 34 touchdowns in 40 games. Just imagine all the celebrations he got to have in the pocket knowing you're going to be in the end zone like every 10 minutes.
Man. They need to play his theme music too.
Right. They need. What's the theme music?
I don't know. It's gotta be.
Whatever song. His theme music is.
It's gotta be a Jadakiss song.
Right. It gotta be a Jadakiss song. Okay. I don't even know any Jadakiss music.
Oh yeah, we too young.
I know he was good. I know Jadakiss was fine. Right?
Oh man, we too young. We finna get ripped apart in the comments.
They gonna be like, who are these youngest? Talk about Jadakiss. The only Jadakiss we need to know is Bonds, okay? Because he's the next man up, period.
That he is.
Okay, Ty, let's get into what I think is going to be fun, okay?
You're very excited for this segment.
I'm excited because I like to manifest players on my team. I have manifested plenty of Eagles, okay? Plenty of them. And I really want to manifest this guy. Let's draft a player onto our team.
Let's do it.
So with the X pick, in the 2023 NFL Draft, Ty Floyd will be picking for the San Francisco 49ers. The pick is in. Do.
All right, Ty Floyd, John Lynch will be drafting Robert Mitchell, guard out of North Carolina Central University. And let me tell you why. The 49ers have made some huge free agency moves, like signing Sam Darnold and Javon Hargrave from the Eagles. Sorry. But there's also the departure of players like Jimmy Ward, Mike McGlinchey, and Jimmy Garoppolo. And given the amount of quarterback issues, we definitely
y'all
need
got a lot of issues.
That we do, and I'm not even gonna lie about that. So given all of those issues, we need somebody up front, and I'm feeling like SZA. I need a big boy. Give me a big boy. So if I'm John Lynch, I'm drafting Robert Mitchell out of North Carolina Central. Robert Mitchell is 6'3", 205 pounds, 2022 MEAC Offensive Lineman of the Year. And girl, you would think that he had a side job at IHOP with all the pancakes. He is serving, he is gritty, and plays into the whistle blows, which is what NFL GMs want. One thing about the 49ers offense is that it's based on high percentage plays, and Robert Mitchell can smash a guy. And that's proven by how many players he's flattened. But in that 49ers offense, all he has to do is shield a guy. The guards in the center are combo blocking in the run game and passing off stunts. In the passing game, I think it would be a great fit for Robert Mitchell out with the 49ers.
And he's definitely a big boy. And like you said, y'all got a lot of questions under at quarterback. So yeah, whoever y'all gonna be protecting next season, I'm sure y'all could use.
We definitely could.
Y'all could use the help.
Definitely could.
But I love you giving North Carolina Central their love. And it's so funny. We all swag. But when it comes to picking the guys who were drafted to our team, it's all MEAC, baby.
Them MEAC boys can play. Them MEAC boys can play. Trust me. Florida A&M used to be in the MEAC now.
Right.
So we know them MEAC boys can play.
A lot of y'all were in the MEAC and now in the SWAC. But that's a combo for another day. As well. But who will I be drafted to the Philadelphia Eagles, y'all?
Let's hear it, Lord.
This smile is not fake. This smile is manifestation, because I can literally imagine and picture this guy with the wings on his helmet. I can see him in the Kelly Green uniform next season tearing it up. Shaq Davis out of South Carolina State University, the next product out of that Buddy Pugh NFL pipeline. That Buddy Pugh NFL pipeline cannot be denied. I reap the benefits with Javon Hargrave, and Javon Hargrave coming into our program and balling out and showing what he could do out of South Carolina State University. You better believe our scouts are looking at Shaq Davis saying, this is the guy, this is the school that dog Javon Hargrave came from. So let me tell you why I want Shaq Davis. First of all, we need a wide receiver 3 badly. We have to upgrade that position, and Shaq Davis will instantly come in, compete for the wide receiver 3 spot, but he can also come in and instantly be our playmaker on special teams as well, because of his ability to work in space. Now, Shaq Davis also has the personality that fits right into the wide receiver room. We already have A.J. Brown, who is a boatload of personality. We have Devontae Smith, loaded with personality. And we know Shaq Davis again. Any guy who's going to go against Jackson State, Deion Sanders, and do the prom shuffle, that's the kind of energy and personality I need on my team.
I know that's right.
He would fit right in. And like I said, the Buddy Pugh pipeline. Look at Jacoby Durant. Look at the other Shaq Leonard. Look at Javon Hargrave. I need anything that's coming out of South Carolina State University on my team.
Cannot be denied. That man Buddy Pugh has a formula, and it works.
It works.
True
okay.
legend.
I hope he's still coaching, like, you know, if I got a son coming. Look, where he want to go? No, you go to South Carolina State, buddy.
Yep.
You go to South Carolina State. Yep. Okay. I just trust me. Trust the process. Okay. That's literally a trust the process type of coach, because he's turned players that were walk-ons, players no stars, offers into top players in the league, not just dudes coming into the league. Top players. Buddy Pugh.
He's that guy. He's that guy. And I think that he continues to show guys, look, you can come get an education. You can be a part of the culture. You can be where you're celebrated, not tolerated. You're not just a number. And then I could also mold you and put you on that stage, and you could be an NFL great. So, hey, if there's somebody watching this who's considering an HBCU, there goes your prime example of what you could become right there.
Exactly. Well, this was so much fun. And when we come back, we will have a special guest with us in studio. It will be one of the guys that we mentioned in our top 3 prospects. So stay tuned, stick around, and we will see who it is.
HBCU Gameday.com is the place to be to stay updated on daily news surrounding Black college sports and culture.
Welcome back to the HBCU Gameday NFL Draft Special with me, Symone, and Ty Floyd.
Yes.
Ty, we have been waiting for this part of the show. We have a very special guest who's going to join us, one of the top HBCU draft prospects this year.
Yes, you're exactly right. This guy stands at about 6'6", 250 pounds, top of the board for everybody. So let's go ahead and welcome him. Without further ado, Kamari Avery, tight end from Bethune-Cookman.
Hello.
So tall, you know, he got cut off a little bit. Just showing all that height.
It's giving Wizard Kelly.
Right.
Wizard Kelly vibe.
So Kamari, first of all, thank you so much for joining us. How are you feeling right now? We're weeks away from that big night, that big week.
It's very exciting, man. Something I have dreamed about, being in the NFL, and the draft is less than 2 weeks away, and I'm just ready for it.
How's the process been? How have you been preparing for this
process? Has been a long journey, especially coming from Bethune, going up there in the NFL PA Bowl game, doing what I had to do up there, talked to numerous of scouts. Then goes to the HBCU Combine. It went well. It didn't go in my favor, but it was still a great experience because I talked to at least 20 teams up there at the HBCU Combine. And now, up until now, it's just been great.
So how do you feel like Bethune-Cookman prepared you to be a player in the NFL?
Well, it's a lot at Bethune. You have to love football to play at Bethune-Cookman. It's just like in Daytona Beach, there's not really much to do. Strictly football. We don't got as much as other schools got at Bethune-Cookman, as far as the weight room, football field. But it taught me a lot, more so outside of football.
Yeah.
Life. Going to Bethune helped me become a better man, a better father, a better everything.
I love it. So we saw some of your highlights rolling. We saw the one with you had the yellow helmets and y'all had the burgundy jerseys. What was your favorite uniform combo at Bethune? Because y'all had a lot of different ones.
I'd say the all white with the chrome helmet.
Well, that's a nice one.
That's the best one.
Coming from a Rattler, that's a nice one.
Yeah.
I did like that one.
That was the best one, I would say.
I'm not gonna lie. Well, Kamari, one of the things that people are talking about, for you is your speed combined with your height and your weight, how you're able to move. What other things do you think will set you apart from other tight ends in the draft?
Well, I would say route running, blocking as well. If you turn on the tape this season, I had probably over 15 pancakes. A lot of tight ends just like the ball. I can do without the ball. I do anything to help my team win.
Okay, so I know, you'll play anywhere, you'll love to be anywhere, but what kind of offense would you thrive in?
I would say a pro-style offense where you can flex me out, attach me, or even put me at wide receiver sometimes.
Okay, and I don't know, you say you're from Georgia, but then you also say you're from Florida, so maybe down the camera's rolling, you'll tell the people where you're really from?
Oh my God, why did you say that?
You said you was from Georgia and Florida, so I don't know how
I was bothering you. I'm not from Florida.
What's wrong with being from Florida?
Right, what's wrong with being from Florida?
It's not nothing wrong with being from Florida. I'm just not from Florida. I was born in Detroit, raised in Atlanta.
Okay, so do you have ties to the Lions or the Falcons? Like, did you grow up rooting for one of those teams?
I was a Detroit Lions fan for the longest because of Calvin Johnson, and they ain't do much.
Megatron was fire though.
He was
everybody was a Megatron fan.
Yeah.
So what's a player that you like watching growing up and you like as a tight end took pieces of their game from or look up to?
So I didn't play tight end my whole life. I played defense, but I always loved Calvin Johnson. Like I never wanted to play offense until I got in middle school where I just dominated at receiver. So Megatron was somebody I did look up to.
So why you didn't want to play offense? You like hitting people?
I did like hitting people as a kid.
What the world? Oh, man.
Yeah. So we have a lot of this draft, when it comes to HBCU prospects, is loaded. Before last season, before the 2022 draft, no one got drafted in 2021. Mm-hmm. And then the 2022 draft, 4 players get drafted. They go on and do big things in the NFL. How did those 2022 draftees inspire you as an HBCU product?
It was motivation to see, everybody always say HBCU prospect, we a lower level of competition. They can't do this, they can't do that. And for them guys to actually go and play their rookie season. I see the guy from Jackson State went to Detroit Lions, 8 sacks his rookie season. The Kobe Durant from South Carolina State actually goes and get pick sixes his rookie year. Joshua, he went to Fayetteville State and he won a Super Bowl.
Unfortunately for me, because
she's an Eagles fan. Oh, man.
I love that happened for HBCUs, but we had HBC players on the Eagles though, so it still would have been a win.
Man, you know what made that play even more beautiful with Joshua Williams getting that interception is that it was tipped by Brian Cook, who played at Howard. So
the Joshua Williams it's still touchy for me because, again, I had a lot invested, you know what I'm saying? But when we look at this draft, who are some other guys that you played against? We have Mark Evans, the second. We have Isaiah Land, a fellow Rattler. Who are those guys that you played against that you can't wait to see in the big league?
You got the guys, like you said, Mark Evans, Isaiah Land. You got Aubrey Miller. You got Isaiah Bolden. You got it's a lot of great talent that's coming out this season.
So who's someone that's being slept on, like you've played against? We're talking about Isaiah Land, we're talking about Mark Evans, we're talking about Shaq Davis, but who are those under the radar guys that you've lined up against that you're like, that dude belongs in the NFL?
I really don't. Okay, so Alabama State. It's the DB that go to Alabama State. I don't really know his name. Number 10. That's I'm sorry, I don't know his name, but he's linky, he got the length, he got the speed, great ball skills, and I don't feel like nobody is talking about him enough.
Okay. Especially when we don't know his name.
Right.
Number 10.
So a lot of people are comparing you to Mercedes Lewis. I don't really understand that comparison. However, what's a player, a tight end in the league, past or present, that you think you can compare yourself to?
I can compare myself to like a tight end like Darren Waller because he can, like, if you go watch film, we literally did the same thing. Like, you can flex him out, go to receiver, go deep. He come in line, he can block, he can run routes from the inside, from the slot. And that's just who I feel like my game fits best.
Okay, Darren Waller. So at what point in your college career did you feel like your game went to the next level? Did you feel like, oh, I'm ready for this?
Okay, so it was the 2020 COVID season when we didn't have a season. I put in the most work at Bethune. I got down to the weight I wanted to be at. My body was where it needed to be at. And then going into the 21 season, it was like everything that I worked for, I actually did. And I was like, okay, now I got it.
You're also a dad, and you list that your motivation, is your family, is your kids. So how excited is the little one for you to be transcending into this level? Does he understand?
He do, and it's so crazy because his first game he ever came to, he told me, and I never even talked football with him. He was about 2 years old, and he told me, "Daddy, you gonna win the Super Bowl." And I never ever talked football with him. And he didn't say Super Bowl, he called it Soup Bowl.
Soup Bowl.
But
that's what we all call it. I feel like Soup Bowl.
It was just like, dang, man, it brought light into my heart because I never talked football with my son, and then for him to come to a game and just say that, it was just like, it meant everything.
So how old is he?
He's 4 years old now.
And does he like watch the NFL? Does he watch college?
He watched me.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, I like that. So he's not a Falcons fan, or?
Nah, so he actually stays in Kentucky. He ain't from Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
Are we gonna see him in pads soon?
Yeah.
So we do have the name of the Alabama State player, number 10, Ian Isaac.
Ian Isaac, that's him.
That's him. Now that's him.
That's the guy.
I would say.
That's the guy.
Right. So shout out to Ian Isaac from Alabama State. But now that you're going to be moving on from Bethune-Cookman, who are some guys we need to keep an eye on at Bethune now?
Well, a lot of guys are leaving Bethune, but I would say Marcus Riley, Amari Hill Robinson.
I knew that one was coming.
That's my guy. He played DB. He pretty slept on too. He don't get his respect, but he lead the conference in interceptions. So I would say he did his due diligence. Kyler Edwards, he a great tackle. And Desmond Daniels, he's pretty good too.
Excuse me, guys. It was Kean Isaac. Like Kean Isaac. Like Kamari.
Oh.
So shout out to Kean.
Kean.
So what part of your game do you think is going to translate the easiest from the college football level to the pro level?
I'd say route running. Routes, catching the ball, and just running.
What's your favorite route combination?
Option route. Either a 10-yard or a 5-yard option because you got the option to break in, break out. It's just like in man coverage is the easiest route to run because it's you versus that person and you really don't know what you're doing.
Especially when he's lined up against Kamari.
Yes.
So what part of your game do you think you're going to have to work on the most to get adjusted?
Getting back to blocking, going back to blocking. So it'd be like at Bethune, you don't really face guys that's in the NFL, the weight, the strength. So I'd say blocking.
Okay, so you like getting gritty because a lot of tight ends they don't want to block.
I'm gonna put my nose. I'm gonna show you.
Oh, because you like hitting people. You like getting physical, so he'll do that.
Yeah, I ain't scared
He
of
said he
that.
had 15 pancakes.
Yeah.
So shoot. All right, now we're gonna see.
Right, but Kamari, we're almost here for the draft. Of course, we're gonna be rooting for you.
Yes.
We got our biases. Like, well, she got her team, I got my team. I think you'll fit right into my team, but we'll let the draft board talk.
Yeah, we'll let the draft board talk. I wouldn't mind seeing him in that 49ers. But hey, I mean, you would be learning with George Kittle.
Or you could be right with Dallas Goedert. You could be getting Jalen Hurts throwing to you versus Brock Purdy.
But listen, where do you see him truly fitting in? Like, what team do you think? Eagles for sure.
Yeah, tight end too. We ain't got one.
Man, I see you. I see you with the Raiders. I really do. I see you with the Raiders. I think that'd be a good fit.
I don't see it.
Darren Waller's gone, so it'd be Kamari time.
Why are you trying to poach my players though? Talk about you got ties with the Raiders or something?
Hey, I don't. But if the Raiders are watching this,
or if the Eagles, like I said, we need a tight end too. Y'all got everybody with your offense. Y'all good over there in San Fran.
no, we're not. No, we're not. We are not. But
we'll let the draft board talk. You know what I'm saying? We'll let the draft board talk.
Is there anything that you want to say signing out?
Nothing at all.
He said it all, y'all. He said it all.
He said he's gonna let his game talk for him.
I know that's right.
That is a wrap for our 2023 NFL Draft Special on HBCU Gameday. Now, like we said, we just have to let the draft board talk. I am Symone Stanley. Thank you guys so much for joining us.